Good day, everybody. Monday. For some of you, that's the start of your work week. Many of you may be going back to work in some capacity, or you might have been off over the holidays and now you're on. So that work could consist of, maybe you're working from home. Good morning. Good morning, Dwayne. So, this could be a day that just, you're just getting back to things. Maybe the kids are going back to school, or if it's online. So it could be online learning that the kids will be doing. So lots of different shifting that's happening today. One of the biggest things is Mercury and Pluto. What is that all about? Wow, there's a lot to be said about those two, where Mercury is meeting up with Pluto today at about the same place that they met up last year. And so this is bringing up a lot of issues from last year. So a lot of like, where were you last year around this time? Like, what was going on? What was maybe you were hesitant about, or what were you holding back upon? And one of the things that, for me, when I looking at the astrology, and I knew there was a lot of heaviness that was going to come in, but one of the people were talking to me about markets, and I wasn't, and I was mentioning for some time that I wasn't going to be doing markets. And that was that's huge. I mean, for me, that's a huge chunk of income. It's a huge chunk, for me, just getting out, meeting people, finding new clients, etc. And so last year at that time was really, again, revising my my business, and I find, wow, I'm kind of there again. I'm revising my business. I'm revising my spiritual journey, which is my business. My business is my spiritual journey. How it correlates with what I do, because what I do is this is part of my business. The big thing too is that Virgo is going to be leaving, the moon is going to be leaving Virgo and going into Libra at about 1:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So as it's leaving there, it is you're going to find that it's, you may not want to start some new things, and it's early in the day, so maybe you want to analyze and get things done now, and begin something now than per se later on in the day, because it's going void off course for most of the day until late tonight. And when it's void off course, it's like it's not making any aspects to any other planets. And when it is void, of course, it is that time for us to sort of look at things, to look at where we're going, and take a deep look within ourselves. And right now, with the moon trining over to Pluto and to Mercury, it's trying to give it a little bit of an oomph there. But with those two together, it's bringing in some heavy hitting energy, and especially what's going to be happening. I feel like this week is going to be a very heavy hitting energy. And with Mars at 29 degrees, I mean, this is like hot, like edginess. This is edgy. It's like, he knows that he's leaving the house. Do I have everything? Am I going, it's that real edginess with Aries right now. And with Mars wanting and going into Taurus. So he's going from like high energy down to Taurus. Taurus isn't high energy. Taurus is like, we're going to go along. We'll get it done. Yeah, we're going to be in here for the long road. And you won't feel any oomph until probably January 20th, when Mars conjuncts Uranus at 6 degrees. And with Uranus there too, he's slowing down and he's getting ready to go forward. So we have a lot of transitional energy. And this transitional energy coming up within us is kind of like maybe making us think a little bit more. This is not to be afraid to move things around if you're feeling overwhelmed. This is where you really have to honor yourself and take some time and look over your calendar, look over your schedule, and see where you're feeling pressure. See where you're feeling it around, right? So if you're starting back at work, maybe you come back and you're just like full steam ahead, and then you look at your calendar and you're like, I think I need to rearrange things a little bit, So this is a day, as we're starting off this week, to really look at things in a deeper way, look at things in a new way, and take a look where you were last year at this time. What was going on? What were you feeling? And especially with that Mars or that Mercury and Pluto energy that's coming in, because that's really going to bring in some heaviness, right? So we're going to have some heavy hitting energy coming in for us. And I feel I feel a lot of people may be getting overwhelmed with it. I was feeling it last night, and just thinking about things and thinking about my family and where we're at and where we're going. Let me close the door because everybody got loud again. And that's the thing, is that, I wrote a post on my Facebook, and thank you everybody for your love and prayers. But it is where, having to continue to move forward in your life. And that's where this energy is. It's like saying we still have to go forward. There are things that we still have to do, parts of us that we have to recognize, that shadow part of our own selves. And that's where that Pluto and Mercury comes in, because it gets us to look at the shadow, look at those parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, but maybe we need to, because those shadow parts, those deep depths of ourselves, are a part of who we are. And many of our shadow parts have gotten us to where we are. And for every shadow, there's a light. And for every light, there's a shadow. So this is what I think this is like really, for us this week, to start to look at, some of the things that maybe we sort of push aside and we think are bad. Maybe there's parts of us that we think are bad, but when we take a step back, they're not as bad as what we think they are. You might have been called pushy, or you might have been called, oh, you're this and you're that, but your pushiness has gotten you to where you are now. Maybe you were told, oh, you talk too much, or you ask too many questions. And you're like, well, those questions has gotten me to meet people, I have been able to find out information, right? Maybe I'm the person who asked the questions that the other people were too afraid to ask, but I asked them, and hey, I got the answers, and maybe I've helped other people with that also. So this is like really looking and where being that procrastinator, maybe, there's good parts to being the procrastinator and there's negative parts to being a procrastinator. But sometimes being the procrastinator, maybe you want it to take a little bit longer to look at things and get things done. And so let's just take, being kind to ourselves and looking at those parts of ourselves that you may call the shadow, because they're yours. You need to reclaim them. You need to bring them all back into the light so that you can take a better look at them. Because not everything that you cast into the shadow realm is shadow. And not everything that you have in the light is light. So it's, it's that moodling it over and taking a deeper look at the world around us. So I'm going to pull out some cards for us today. And I have the Pagan Tarot deck, which I think is a beautiful deck. It's one that's been calling me lately. I like the Black Cat Tarot deck also. That's a really good deck. Oh, And out comes, okay, stop shuffling. We got cards jumping all over. And the other one, I mean, look at here. We got this beautiful princess. Is this the princess? The Princess of Swords. So the Page of Swords. New information, new enlightenment. This is bringing in the new light. I mean, it's the embolic, which is February 1st. February 1st. That's where my Patreon page starts. So bringing in new knowledge and new ideas, and knowing that through the dead of winter, there's new growth. There's new growth. So the light is coming back. There's these beautiful lambs that are saying that there's, something new is birthing. There's some new ideas and information that's coming forth for us. And you got to look at your skills. This is the other card that came out. What are your skills? What are your talents? What have you been working on? There's things that you're really good at, but there's something there still that you're wanting to work at. Maybe there's something that you've been procrastinating about, and now is the time to really start bringing it out. And this afternoon would be something that you need to work on, because that would be a wonderful time to work on some projects that maybe they're there. They're not new projects, but they're there. You've been procrastinating about it, and it's time for you to do some fine tuning. So this moon going into Libra and void off course gives you that incentive. And with Mars being at the last degrees and a little bit edgy, that means, you know what, it's time to hunker down and use that energy to begin and get things down, because when it goes into Taurus, you're in it for the long haul. So being in something for the long haul, is this what you want to be in for the long haul? Or working on that project, or working on something, or creating something new, whatever it is opening doorways for something else. And in saying that, the Nine of Wands, well, you've worked damn hard to get to where you are, right? You've been beaten, battered. You have the resilience, and there's a way of looking. Instead of people, I understand 2020 was a difficult year, but let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative to say 2020 was a year of resilience. 2020 was a year that brought in new ways of looking at the world, brought in new skill sets. So this is where you come in with that resilience, and having that resilience, right? Because the innovation and information is coming in, newness is coming in. And you have the skill set to do something, to create something, whether you think you do or not. It is there. Doesn't matter where you are in this world or what's happening around you. There's always a new opportunity or a way to transform yourself. And in doing that, this is what brings in your resilience. This is what brings in where, you know what? We're still tired. And I think we're going to feel that tiredness until the spring equinox. We're still going to be shaking off a lot of this 2020 and a lot of the energies from it. But it has brought in this beautiful resilience for ourselves. And the overall energy of it when you are doing this is bounty. The Six of Pentacles. Look at that. The Six of Pentacles. So that is, that you are able to give and you're able to receive, that you're able to put energy out and you're able to bring energy back in. You're able to come into that balance. Hence, Libra is the sign of balance, justice. So bringing in that balance, bringing in that substance for your life. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards coming out today for us. So step into that resilience, step into that bounty for yourself. So I will have the dailies up for all of your astrological signs. They'll be going up on the Guru Mama page, and they'll be going up on Instagram. So I'll be having them going up there. And then I think, and I will be having them go on to, what's the other thing? What are the other social medias that I'm on? Parlor, and I'll be putting them up on Parlor. So those will be going up today, and I'll have them up later on today. So sending you guys off with so much love. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I have the spell casting workshop starting on January 28th. If you want to sign up for that, DM me, let me know, and I'll let you know all the info for that. And yeah, it's going to be a fabulous day. Just honor yourself with all of this. This is coming back to your center and honoring yourself with everything. Have a blessed day. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, in all that you be, in all that you do. Have a blessed one, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.